What are the most expensive Funko Pops in my collection? Now, I will admit, I don't think I have the most impressive collection in terms of just rarity and value. A lot of the Pops I own, you can easily get it in retail, and for those that actually are retired, you can still stack it up on eBay for a decent price. But that doesn't mean I don't have any special gems hidden in the collection. I may not have a $700 anime pop, but I do have some grails. And grails, if you are not familiar with that term, is just any pop that is retired and is expensive. Expensive could mean over $100, over $150, just a triple-digit number. That is a grail. Something you literally cannot find without paying a hefty price for it. Now, I won't count my signature ones here, because these signature pops have been just normal pops from the start until they got signed. Now, the signatures really depend. It really depends on the celebrity and all that, so that's why I didn't count signature pops in here. I have a bunch of signature pops, and believe me, I do believe a couple of them are worth quite a hefty price. But I want to just specifically focus on just the pops themselves in terms of just the value within. So, that being said, allow me to introduce to you my most expensive Funko Pops in my collection. But first, before we get to this video, a quick word from our sponsor today. Yeah, I know, I got sponsored. EVORETRO and I have partnered up to bring you these special Funko Pop protectors. These protectors are excellent for your favorite Funko Pops that you want to protect in case you don't want them damaged. These protectors are available in all different shapes and sizes for any Funko Pop you desire, and remember, protecting your passion is important. EVORETRO has these protectors at an excellent price, available on their Amazon page, .ca and .com depending where you are from. I'm from Canada, so I use the .ca website. Here is a Funko Pop of mine. This is the Cobb Vamp Chase, and it is nicely protected in an EVORETRO protector to ensure this chase maintains its quality and ultimately its value. So what are you waiting for? Click the links in my description or in the pinned comments to access their pages on Amazon.ca or .com, again, depending where you're from. Make sure you're clicking on the right link. And once again, thank you EVORETRO for sending me these pop protectors and doing this collaboration. Back to the video. Let's begin by looking at a pop from the Ratatouille line. This line of pops was not a cheap one, I'll tell you that right now, and simply because these are vaulted. So, from the Ratatouille line, there is a pretty cheap one, which is Emile. However, this one does take the cake. This is Alfred Linguini, the iconic character from, of course, the movie. I'm just going to tell you how much I personally paid for this figure. And the answer is $127. It's a little bit specific, but that was what that booth at the PNE convention was charging it for. So I paid $127 for this pop. It is a grail. It is quite expensive simply because I just think because he is very, very hard to find. But for some reason, all the Ratatouille pops, and actually all the Disney pops, the blue original Disney boxes, oh, those guys are very pricey. But this is Alfred Linguini for number 1 on the list. Continuing on with the Ratatouille trend, this one just recently came out, but because this is a Loungefly exclusive, this also makes it quite difficult to find. This is the Diamond Collection Remy from the Funko Shop exclusive, limited to only 3,000 pieces. Again, I don't remember how much I paid for it. I think I paid around $150, which was a little bit cheaper because the one I got came with a little of a box dent, so the seller was generous enough to give me a discount for it. But because this is a Loungefly, and usually this is stuff you can only get in the USA, it makes the quantity already limited enough. So therefore, this is quite a hefty price, but not as pricey as the next Ratatouille pop. This bad boy. This is the Remy Chase. Now, for those of you who don't collect Funko Pops, what is a Chase Funko Pop? Well, a Chase Funko Pop is a different variant of a common, but basically it's more rare. There's a 1 in 6 chance of acquiring a Chase usually when they package these, and the same situation goes with sodas. But Chase could mean anything. It could be a flop, it could be a glow-in-the-dark, it could be a different mold, the character could be holding a different weapon or something. It can vary. The only way you're going to know it's a Chase is if you spot this sticker. this is the limited Chase edition sticker. Now there is different versions of this Chase sticker, so you must be vigilant and see if you acquired yourself a gold mine. Because let me tell you, finding a Chase in retail is probably one of the best things you can do. Unfortunately, I didn't do that for this. I was not into Funkos when this thing was out. So therefore, I had to pay a hefty price of $200. That I do remember because I remember PayPaling that supplier $200 for this. So, this pop, I'm sure it's not worth too much now. It should be around 180 bucks if the last I checked. I think it was sitting around that price. But this is still quite expensive simply because this is a Chase Funko Pop. The fact that the common itself was worth around 100 bucks, that's already expensive. Now this is the Chase, twice the price. So, this Remy. Ugh. So yeah, surprisingly, 3 of the most expensive pops in my collection are Ratatouille pops, but that's only the tip of the iceberg. Let me tell you, most of my expensive pops here are Star Wars related, but we haven't even gotten to the main course yet. Allow me to introduce to you a pop from the Avengers Endgame line. This is Loki carrying the Tesseract. This is a Funko Shop exclusive limited edition, and it is also because of its limited quantities is what made it expensive. It is not a super grail. There are pops that are not worth as much as this, and this pop certainly isn't worth as much as some other pops in the collection. But I decided to bring it out simply because this pop, I think I remember I paid around 130 bucks for it, which was one of the best prices I could find because I've seen higher prices for this. This is because this is such a brief moment in the movie, and this isn't even a major key where, well, it sets up the Loki show, but this is like a quick scene, but Funko still decided to make a pop out of it, and therefore the quantity is less enough, and therefore everyone was kind of going after it when it first came out, and now there is none because it's retired. You get the story. So that is Loki, but it's not over yet. We still got some very, very expensive stuff here. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are pops that are worth way more than what I have here. But let me show you the next Funko Pop that I paid a hefty price for, and that is Freddy Funko himself. Now, Freddy Funko is the mascot character for the Funko line. This is actually what Funko Pop started because they based the figure off the character Freddy Funko, which then only then they later expanded into doing pop culture and doing so many different franchises and all that. But they do stick to their roots, and over time we will get these expensive Freddy Funko Pops, as in the actual character, but he is dressed up as an iconic character we know from social media and pop culture. So, this Freddy Funko I have here is limited to 4,000 pieces, and he is dressed as the Mandalorian, of course, from the Star Wars TV show. He is the Mandalorian Funko Pop mold, but of course they put the Freddy Funko head on top as replacement. You cannot get this in retail. You will never ever be able to find this in retail unless there's some local retailer like Toy Traders that may put it up for sale. But most likely they would charge quite a hefty price for it simply because this is only from a Black Light Battle mystery box. Or was it a box? I don't exactly remember. I got these from a Facebook seller, and I think I remember I paid around 180 bucks for it. So it is quite a hefty one, and that's because of the limitation. But this is definitely a grail for the collection. So this is Freddy Funko as the Mandalorian. And this pop was highly contested when it first came out because it was launched at a event. And that event was so popular and everyone went after it because it was only available in those booths in that convention. Some people were smart enough to buy a couple for themselves and to resell. Some people just immediately, the only thought they had in their mind was to resell and make profit. So the second they buy it from the convention, they take a photo of the pop in the convention and they immediately put it up on eBay. And that is exactly how they get people who can't attend the convention like me to get my hands on one of these bad boys. This is Baby Yoda, or Grogu, some of you may know. But as you can see, he is in a black box. He is a 2022 Star Wars Celebration exclusive. He is also a diamond Funko Pop, as you can see from the sticker right here. He is a diamond Funko Pop. Why is he so godforsaken expensive? I just explained it. He was only available in the Star Wars Celebration that took place earlier this year. Hence the sticker. It's very specific too. So even if Funko relaunches this and puts it out for sale, they will not put the same sticker. Yes, Funko Pops can get value because of the sticker. So this pop is worth, I believe I paid around $260 for it, which is already quite expensive. But I've seen people sell it for more. So before you fact check it and correct me in the comments saying how I'm not accurate, I'm telling you the prices of how much I paid for these pops. And then moving on, we have these are all more Star Wars stuff. This is the Mandalorian himself. So of course, no more Freddy Funko. This is just the Mandalorian himself. But he is a 2019 Fall Convention Limited Edition exclusive. I just actually recently released a video where I unboxed this. This is worth around $250, and that is exactly how much I paid for it. So I didn't get a discount, no nothing. I had to pay the exact price. But the thing is, when I first got it, I was warned it could be a fake. Turns out there was a lot of fake versions of this pop that was made. But thank God, I checked my product number and everything. Mine is real. I have the true figure. It is not a ripoff. It is worth $250. So because this is, I guess it's also because of quantity, because I've seen pops with the same sticker like this that is not worth that much. So I believe it's just the quantity that has made this very, very expensive. Because this Mando is only one out of a million Mandos Funko has made. Funko has made so many Mandalorian Funko Pops, but this one's outfit is like the first appearance that we see him in, and he's holding his pistol. So you can put that alongside the other Mandalorian Funko Pops on Google, then you can see the differences. But whatever reason, this is worth $250, so this is quite up there. This is a little bit on the hefty side as well. And then we're going to divert away from Star Wars for a second and look at The Hobbit. This is Gandalf the Grey from the Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey line. How did I get my hands on this? Well, funny story. I actually bought a Lord of the Rings lot. I bought an entire set of Lord of the Rings Funko Pops. You can actually see that video right now on the channel. And in that collection, this was included. I'm sure the seller did not realize how much this Gandalf was actually worth, because I paid around $250 for the entire lot, including this. So I secured a really, really good deal to get my hands on this pop. I'm sure that time it wasn't that expensive yet, so let's just say I got lucky with this Gandalf. But now that I know how much it's worth, oh my goodness. Alright, next up, this is the second most expensive. This is, back to Star Wars, the Clone Shock Trooper. Now, any Star Wars pop that is in this blue box is a grail. But this in particular is worth quite a bit. If you go on eBay right now, the best price you're going to get it for is around $250. I paid around $230 something because the seller was giving a discount. So I got it slightly less, but even then, it is worth quite a bit because obviously, number one, it is vaulted. Number two, this is a 2015 Galactic Convention exclusive. So this came out during the convention, like that Baby Yoda did back in 2015. So it's very, very limited quantities. And this clone, and you know me, I'm a big lover of the prequels. I absolutely love the Clone Troopers. So this was a must-have, and I'm glad I got it because I'm trying to collect all the Clone Troopers. And last, but definitely not the least, my prized possession, my most expensive Funko Pop in the collection, and I could never, ever, ever even think of selling this. It is staying with me until I die. The story that it took me to get this pop, and the amount of money I had to pay for it. Oh man. But I got lucky. Because I actually wanted this pop for so long. I knew how much this pop was going to cost. But I was patient, I had some strategies, and I got it out of luck. This is, of course, my clone Captain Rex Funko Pop. This is an all-time grail. The value of it is like a zigzag line on the graph. It's just keeps changing. But it is so special that, as you can see, I have it in a light-up display case. It's kind of hard to tell right now because of the studio light, but I will have a clip where I light it in the dark. There you go. There it is, all lit up. So let me just bring it closer for you guys to see. There you go. That's how special this pop is, that I gotta light it up in blue to match the theme. Oh man, he is worth around $400 to $500. Simply because he is so popular, the character, and secondly, the pop was very limited quantities. Now, the sticker I have here is the 2018 Fall Convention exclusive. That's already $500. Now, if I got my hands on the Hall H sticker, like the specific room that the convention was held, nah, that is gonna be some big bucks. This pop means a lot to me. It is very expensive, and I could definitely resell this right now, and someone will be paying me $600 to $700 for this. But this has sentimental value, and that's why it is the most expensive Funko Pop in my collection. And that is it for the list. That is all my most expensive Funko Pops in my collection. Like I said, I'm sure there are some of you out there watching who may have even more expensive pops. Maybe laughing at me and go like, ha, that's your most expensive? Check out my $1,000 Funko Pop. Well, funny you should mention that. I have a pop that if it was real, it would be $6,000. Yeah, you heard me. 6 grand. 6,000 P's. Unfortunately, I can't make that claim because this pop isn't real. It's not fake though, but it isn't real. It's actually custom built. So this isn't a knockoff. This was actually designed by a design artist and he put it up on eBay, and he showed the whole process of him designing. So this was all hand sculpted from scratch. He designed the box, the figure, the base plate, all that is handmade. So I obviously didn't count this as the most expensive because it's not the real thing. The real thing is $6,000, an entire hospital bill. So I was okay with getting this, knowing that this is a custom and not a fake. It's basically the same mold as the real thing. It's the same. It replicates the real thing quite well. It's also a San Diego Comic-Con 2012 limited edition, 480 pieces only. That's why it is so expensive. If this was the real thing, that is jackpot for my collection, but obviously not. It's alright, but I wanted to just bring this out as an honorable mention, and so that is all my most expensive Funko Pops. Now, like I said, I didn't exactly count value too much as for like actual facts, so people may be fact-checking these pops that I showed off and just try to go after me saying how I'm not correct. That's fine. I said I am talking about how much I paid for these pops. So, definitely, I feel like my collection is impressive because of the quantity. Believe me, I have a museum. If you are a hardcore collector who collects pops for value, you're gonna look at my collection and just scoff at me. Because I'll tell you right now, it doesn't have a lot of value. Sure, I can probably sell this as a bulk, but the prize crown jewels only come in little pieces because these are needles in a haystack. For a good reason. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. And of course, if you want to see any more of these lists or top 10s you want me to do, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely see what I can do. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Mark25 and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.